Jenny McCarthy Show.
Oh my God, Darcy, welcome to the Jenny McCarthy Show.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Jenny.
Darcy
It's a pleasure to be
Silva.
here.
90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, streaming now on TLC.com. 90 Day Fiancé Season 5, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock on TLC. Holy shit, I can't believe you're sitting right next to me.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm sitting right next to you.
A, you look gorgeous.
Oh, you too. Thank you.
Congratulations on your success.
Oh, thank you.
What is it like to have, not be famous and be famous somewhat kind of overnight? It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
It is a little crazy, you know. I mean, I've kind of dabbled in the industry on and off over the years with my twin sister, and it's just kind of like
to be recognized places.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm living in Connecticut now, and just like small town girl here, and it's like get recognized at the airport now in Amsterdam and Europe, like here in the States. So yeah, it's a blessing,
Of course.
It's a great opportunity.
And now let's back up for people, because there's some people that haven't watched the show, and I've been plugging the show like crazy, so you're going to get more and more and more fans. You basically went on a dating website, an international one, and you met Jesse, who was how old at the time? 24?
23.
23. Yeah. And it was an instant attraction?
Yeah. I actually was on this kind of networking dating site, and just kind of moved back from LA to Connecticut. So I just kind of, wasn't dating anybody at the time. And my sister was going to Europe to visit her boyfriend. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go to Milan or whatever. It's Fashion Week or something. So I found this app or whatever to network and stuff. So I don't know. I just, I didn't end up going there. I just ended up staying in Connecticut and happened to come across Amsterdam and was scrolling one day and
who's that?
Who's that guy? Yeah, I was kind of I scrolled past him, but I was still kind of popped in my head, oh, go back to that guy. It's just kind of the way he was sitting in the picture was kind of come hither. I'm right here for you.
Now, you were 42 at the time?
Yes.
And I when I moved out of LA, I was 42 because I realized you have to date 60. I always talk about that in LA. And a lot of divorcees, we do dabble in the cougar area.
Yeah.
And I say I should say other women. But what made you go, you know what, I am confident enough to date someone this age?
Yeah. Well,
some women can feel very insecure about it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I kind of feel like I'm a young soul. And I've always kind of dated younger than I am. I just
you
kind
look
of young
young
at heart. Yeah, I kind of feel young at heart. I mean, Jesse just has this maturity about him at his age, so it's just kind of a good fit, a good match.
Right.
But yeah, I've just always kind of been attracted to a little bit younger than I am. I've dated, on and off in Los Angeles. One or two little, decent relationships, but nothing too serious. But I've had.
And how long were you guys talking before you said, you know what, it's time for me to go to Amsterdam and meet him?
A good 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
And in those 3 months, you fell in love.
Yeah, we were talking, pretty intense, pretty quick. So.
There is something about when you're online that you have a rawness to, you're more vulnerable and share secrets with each other. And I don't know why that is that.
I don't know. I opened up pretty quick with him. I feel like it was comfortable and just this openness about us. I just felt a really deep connection, almost like a twin flame kind of spark between us. And obviously he said all the things I wanted to hear, and
and then having to go, because they show you guys her getting ready. You talk to your daughters about it. You have teenage daughters,
preteen, yeah.
And how did they feel about mom going online and meeting some guy on the internet and then going to Amsterdam to be with them for 6 weeks?
Right. Well, at the time they were in school, and obviously I'm divorced, so I co-parent with my ex, so they're with their dad in good hands, and I had.
And we always need me time. I always tell mom,
yes.
It's our lives too.
Yes. So they understood that. They were happy for me. It's been a long time since they knew I was in a relationship with somebody, and being, back on the East Coast from being on the West Coast working, I felt it was time to kind of just venture out and, find love. And with Jesse, I kind of felt like I was ready to go and embark on that journey. And they were supportive of it. They're obviously, I've had conversations with them, sat them down, and, I was very, transparent with them, and, they were fine with it. At first, when I signed on for the show, I was kind of reluctant a little bit, just because, I'm very protective as a mom and everything, and I just didn't know. I mean, I've worked in television before, but it's just, being on the other side of...
It's different.
Yeah, it was a little different, so I just, not since I'm protective, but I talked to my ex, and he agreed, it's okay. They also made it known that would be like kind of like lightness. It wasn't going to be anything like
Too heavy.
too heavy for them. So, I monitored it really well. And, they did a couple little scenes and some confessionals and stuff. But
They're
I
adorable.
was there. Yeah, they're amazing.
So then you go to Amsterdam, and the trip, you guys, is totally crazy because she gets on a plane. It's a long flight. And, you try to look fabulous. And I'm totally guilty of, like, taking long flights and trying to, like, I'm doing my hair and makeup in the bathroom at the airport. So when he's waiting for me, I look great. She takes her gym shoes off. She puts on her Christian Louboutin. And she's going down the escalator where when she gets down the escalator, all she needs to do is like turn right and the guy will be there, and her heel gets stuck in the escalator. And she like, oh my God, falls forward.
Yeah.
And thank God you get your foot out.
Yeah.
But then you're leaning over, trying to get your heel out of the escalator. Escalator stops. It totally jams it up. I'm waiting for your hair extensions to get sucked into the escalator. And I'm like, oh my God, she's about to meet her love of her life so far.
Yeah,
And your shoe is stuck in the escalator. What are you thinking at this point?
Oh my God.
Were you thinking bad omen? Or what?
Not so much that. I was just like, holy crap. Like, why me right now? It's like we anticipated this moment. We already talked about, like, what it was going to feel like when we first see each other and everything, But obviously that happened. I had that moment. But, actually the shoe broke their escalator. I had to wait for security. So he's waiting on the other side for like 2 hours. Like, what the heck's going on? Where are you? So in reality, he thinks I'm not showing up. So,
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It made him, like, be on edge a little bit.
He was on edge a little bit. And then I was just like, they see in the show, like, I'm obviously nervous, but I'm thinking, like, oh, great. My shoe's all scuffed up, too. And it's like, I wanted to look all perfect.
And you did. You looked great. You got yourself back together.
Yeah,
so she comes around the corner, and there is Jesse. Jesse, hoping he looks like his photos, because then both of you guys are only relying on photos.
Right.
And what do you think, first impression?
I was like, wow, he's a handsome man, tall, charming looking, just perfect in my eyes.
Okay, so you walk into his apartment for the first time. Now, you live in a beautiful home. You have your own business. You walk into his apartment, and I know things in Europe are much smaller, and it's small. It's a studio apartment.
Yeah.
Your face was kind of funny because he blindfolded you, and you're worried about your lashes, which is something I would say. So what happens when you walk in the room? What did you think?
I was just shocked. He put a blindfold, everything. It was like, 50 Shades kind of, action going on. I was like, what's he got in store for me here? So I walk in. It's a cute place. Very, he's a very structured kind of person. So he's,
would that be called OCD?
Maybe a little bit. He likes his perfection and stuff. So he's, got his thing going on.
When you were watching the show and you saw ahead of time, because of course you don't get to see what they're filming ahead of time, and he's like, here's some space for her. I made space in my closet for her, which is like literally 12 by 12 inches of space for you, and you brought 7 suitcases.
I know.
So how was that to deal with?
I know, and I was like, wait, I can only fit like 10 panties on here. What is he talking about? He knew I was coming with some bags and stuff because I was there for 6 weeks. And I like fashion. I didn't know what we were going to do. So I kind of packed heavy. And, eventually we took his an area in his house where he has like a sliding door. And
he made it a closet.
He made it a closet for me eventually, which was nice.
So let's get into the actual relationship part because, staying with someone for 6 weeks is hard for anybody. And someone you didn't know. There were moments in the relationship that seemed like, to me as a viewer, that you were letting pieces, and I've been guilty of this, pulling your bar down a little, sacrificing pieces of yourself. You weren't staying necessarily true to who you are, and you were becoming submissive in the relationship right from the beginning. Did you notice that watching back?
Yeah, a lot of the footage that I've seen back, I was kind of like, in that moment, it was obviously I had different thoughts and feelings, but I feel like I didn't let my voice be heard enough, I feel, at times. And now that I look back, I wish I spoke up more about certain topics and things. Obviously, we don't.
What?
With the drinking thing, I think he kind of took that out of proportion. Hey, listen, I'm a social butterfly in LA. I like nightlife sometimes, but I don't feel like I've ever gone like too crazy like that. In that moment, we had filmed with his mom having some drinks to get to know her on camera. So in actuality, we were supposed to be doing a Skype call at his house later on, with my sister. So he said I was late, but it was just kind of like that's the way we filmed it.
Now, because I've been in so many of these, I've been in toxic relationships before, and I'm not saying yours is, but I've noticed a sign, and that is a guy picking something to shame and put in their pocket. They pick something that not necessarily is an issue or a problem for this for the girl, and they use this thing as a go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that is a go-to for you and Jesse?
Sometimes it's a trigger point, I feel like.
Does he still prevent you from drinking?
I mean, I choose not to just because, I know at times if I drink too much, it's not like a good thing, but I'm not at all alcoholic. I feel like how he's kind of portrayed me in social media and outside of the show.
Right.
Which kind of, I question that. Like, why would
I
he
call
do
that
that?
shaming.
And I was just like, I obviously had some drinks in LA with my sister when we did some stuff back in Los Angeles after Amsterdam, and one time he was at work and I went out because I was just like out by myself.
You're allowed to have drinks.
Yeah,
if
no,
you don't
I
have a
know,
problem.
but no, I know I don't wake up in the morning and need like alcohol or anything like that. So that's how I feel like he's making me seem. But like, I just don't think that he's a social person when it comes to drinking. He might like a wine or here and there, but
are you too scared to maybe confront him and say, listen, I don't actually have a problem and I am a social butterfly? And
yeah, sometimes I just don't want to like jump in that territory because I know it's just,
you don't want to rock the boat.
I don't want to rock the boat. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, God, I've so have lived and walked in your shoes, and I see you're such a romantic soul. Like, you're so passionate, and all of your intentions are so good. And I feel like sometimes his controlling side is chipping away at you where you're not going to recognize who you are.
Yeah, I mean, no one's perfect.
Do you feel like that sometimes, though?
Sometimes I feel like I don't have my voice. I don't speak up as much because I know, like, it's just, I don't know. There
was an incident on your reunion that I was like, wow, because I've done so much therapy. Listen, I'm a work in progress, sweetie. So when we talk about this all on my show, really about like peeling the onion and watching you guys go back and forth on the couch, you made up and broke up within a 7-minute segment. And it was kind of fascinating to watch because it really represents, you're not the only one, it represents a lot of people.
Right.
In that, though, I noticed he never wanted to appear as the bad guy.
Right.
So what does that tell you?
A lot. It tells me a lot. I mean, I'm hoping that we can communicate better with each other. I feel like he can, listen to me more sometimes. But in that moment when we were doing the tell-all, I needed my voice heard, and I wasn't going to let down anymore. I wanted to speak up. Obviously, some of it was edited and everything, but
so you did speak up.
Yeah, he was just trying to like call me out on my BS, but I'm like, what BS are you talking about? Like, I've said I had some drinks in LA with my sister, and I don't mind admitting that. It's not like I have a problem being an alcoholic, but I feel like he was trying to throw me under the bus for no reason, and then he's bringing up other topics about like, work stuff and financial things and then your family thing. I was like, I don't understand.
I think he's trying. Then I call that shaming. I really do. I feel like
it sometimes, but I'm trying to work through it with him. Yes, it's we're still working on a relationship. We're still together, but
do you consider it to be
things.
Kind of toxic sometimes?
At times, but I'm sure he would say that about me too. So it's like, I can only speak for myself, but we have a deep love that we share for each other, and
you guys are still together. Just to let people know.
Yeah, we're still together.
Do you think you'll get married?
I'm hoping. We talk about it a lot. We talk about a lot of things. He tells me all the time he wants to. So he always said towards the end of the year he would want to pop the question. So I know he's coming for the holiday, and we'll see what happens.
And do you still have the promise ring?
Yeah.
You still have it?
Yeah, actually,
but you don't wear it.
I have a few.
Your House of 11. I want to get that plugged for you. House of 11. Can people get that line?
Oh yeah, we have a website. We're right now kind of relaunching our House of 11. It was our main company, and we have another line called Silva Collection, so they can go on thesilvacollection.com or
you do look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
What is something that you can say that you learned from watching the other couples? Do you know all the other couples? Have you gotten to know them?
We had a nice little dinner in New York. I met Courtney and the rest of the cast and stuff, so everybody was really nice and sweet. Yeah.
And what have you learned from watching other couples?
Everyone has their own experience. I just kind of, I'm there I'm there for them if they want to talk about anything, but honestly, like, they're just good people, and they're just living from their hearts and just trying to live their life.
Like, find love like everybody else.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing that you can say to me that you hope Jesse improves on?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like just having my voice heard a little bit more and just seeing my side of the story as opposed to like his way always being the right way. You know, so
And there's been accusations online. You guys have fought online and social media.
I don't see it that way. I think things got like misconstrued and taken out of context.
Really?
I'm kind of a night owl. I stay up late anyway, and it's 6 hours difference for him. So sometimes I wait up to say good morning to him or good night. The kids are in bed. I'm sleeping. That's when my quiet time when I'm on the phone or watching TV or just chilling. So, I'm on my phone.
Because then there was one where you're like,
eyes.
go ahead and F those hoes. And
Actually, that was before the show even aired. I just got back from Amsterdam, and from the summer we went to Greece and everything. And obviously we make up and break up all the time. So we were having our own little, like, situation going on. I think the promo came out, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm going to look like desperate, woman chasing a young guy, and, like, I leave like a bad mom leaving my kids. No, I mean, we filmed a lot, so I was like, he's going to look like the sexy hot guy. I was just thinking those things in my head, and we were just kind of going back and forth, and obviously he was trying to talk me through it, like, no, babe, whatever, it's fine, you're going to be fine.
Do you think he's addicted to the fame?
I think he's getting it to his head a little bit, but I can't say it to him. Obviously, he's probably going to hear this now, but,
He's an Amsterdam. He's not going to hear nothing. So I think it's getting to his head.
I think so, because I feel like he gets mad when I'm posting stuff for me, because, I have my own thing going on, too, and I get, like, a text, like, right after, like, why'd you post that, or why are you copycatting me? I said, copycatting you.
He's almost competitive.
Yeah, I don't like that. I get that sense a lot of times, so I just try not to bring it up. I just try to shut it down with the comments back. Like, let me do you, honey. I'm not trying to copy you. It is what it is,
Well, you have to stay true to that, because you need to shine and not worry about his sparkle. Let him sparkle his own way.
He's got plenty of time to sparkle,
That's right.
I'm just here for love, too, and I just, my daughters are my life, and he needs to realize, it's me and the girls, too. It's not just about Jesse.
Well, I hope you keep us updated, because we're rooting for you.
Thank you.
And I hope he stops, and wakes up and smells the coffee and not so controlling and and slows down on that shaming thing and starts kind of looking at himself to fix. Right. You guys check out 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days, streaming on TLC. Darcy Silva on Instagram, Darcy Silva. Say hi to her, support her. Thank you so much, girlfriend.
Oh, thank you.
Come back anytime, okay?
Oh, I love you.
Thanks, you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, Henry Winkler. Love you.
Jenny McCarthy Show.
Oh!